Hello everyone, this is Head on a Spike here with a very important video today for you. I'm usually a happy-go-lucky guy on this channel, but today I gotta talk about something really serious, and that is about fake Lego. It's gotten a lot of bad street cred about how sometimes they use lead paint. I don't know if they still do anymore, but some people still might. There's a lot of people out there who are still making fakes, and they're dangerous and they're horrible quality, and for a while it was just kind of a joke, a gag, and we could just laugh it off and move on with our lives. But now it has gotten much more serious, and I have gone through a very rough time recently because of fake Lego, and I'm going to talk all about that today, how I got scammed, and how I never want this to happen to anyone in the world out there. And this is a very serious matter, and that's what this video is about. I got scammed with the most expensive minifigure I've ever paid for in my entire life, which was a New York Toy Fair Iron Man from 2012. You know, the classic coveted figure that everyone talks about and wants, 1 out of 125. That one. All these months, I thought mine was real, and until very recently have I found out that it is in fact a fake. So I finally have a real one now, but I'm going to compare both figures today so all of you in the world can see the differences, so you will never get scammed like I have. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, what we have here is a chart which has the real figure on the right, because right is real, right is right. Fake is on the left. This is the counterfeit. This is the one that I got scammed on. And I'm going to show you guys all the differences, all the things about it that are not the same, and what's real, why this one is real, and why this one is fake. And I'll tell you all about everything that I learned, about my information, my research that I've been doing about this very figure for about over an entire year now. So, let's get to it, to the nitty-gritty bit of it. Let me get my other glove on, because I need to wear gloves for this one, because I don't want to touch it with real hands, because, you know, it is real this time. And I don't want to like smudge it or damage it or any way, shape, or form, natural oils and all that, even though I washed my hands like a dozen times already today. It has to be on the super safe side. So I'm also going to be putting these figures on stands so we can at least first get an overview of both of them together. I've been wanting to make this video for a very long time, and I'm finally ready to do it today. So, what we have here, like I said, real is on the right, fake is on the left. First things first to notice. On the left, the gold is much brighter, and it's kind of like almost a like a light pearl gold. On the real one, it's a darker pearl. That is something I didn't really notice until I had both these figures in my hands together. Now you see why this happened, why this person got away with this. Is because this real figure here is so limited, and it might actually be fewer than 1 out of 125. But because there are so few of them in the world, that's why this guy, who I don't know who he is or where he is, if he's in, I thought I heard a rumor he's in Taiwan or something, somewhere in Asia somewhere, possibly. He's out there cranking out these fakes, and he's got really, really good machines, the ones that are about as good as Legos. And he's been making lots of money off of these fakes by distributing them out, getting paid because people are thinking they're getting the real thing when they're not. So he got away with this figure in particular because there are so few in the world out there, so people don't really know what it looks like. There's so few pictures of this character on Google, on the internet itself. Very few sellers even have this listed as an option to buy, and the few that do, then you really have to look and see if they are authentic. I'll go into more details about where I got this and everything later. But let's just keep talking about the differences right now. So this fake one here on the left has very bold black lines in the torso here. Very, very heavily darkened. Whereas for the real one, they're much lighter. They're thinner. They're not as bold. They're not as obvious. You can also tell on the top, which I didn't even realize till I was looking at these together yesterday when I got this package finally, at the tops of their heads, the one on the left, the printing kind of stops near the edge, whereas for the real one, it kind of keeps going a little bit. That's not a very obvious difference, I will admit. But what is an obvious difference, the biggest, most obvious difference of all, to know if you have a real one in your hands or a fake one, it's this black oval on the back. You see on the left, the fake one, it's elongated. There's much more bold black lines again, and it's much longer. It's almost like a whole inch. And on the right, the real figure here, it's almost like a half pentagon or something, and it's very short. It's like stub. Comparing the two together, you can really see the obvious difference of how this one is also kind of more curvy, and this one is more angled for the shape on the back. This half pentagon or whatever it is. How many sides is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's a half. It's a pentagon. So it's like very angled and shorter for the black pattern here on the back, and here it's much longer and thicker and curvier. Other thing you can tell on the back, there are 2 extra lines on the top here above this gold X, and you don't get that on the fake one. See that? It's not even there. So honestly, when you have a real one in your hand, you can see how sloppy of a job this guy who makes these counterfeits, these fakes in wherever, does. He did a really shoddy job. But nobody would know that unless they have a real one and a fake one together. You wouldn't know because there's so few in the world. You would just think this is real because you wouldn't know any better. It's all thanks to a guy I found on eBay named Chris. His eBay selling name is, his store name is Mile High Lego. I think he was, he maybe used to work at Lego. He's a very well-established seller. He has tons of rare stuff, very expensive things. And he has the real New York Toy Fair Iron Man and Captain America. And he was the one who pointed out to me when I reached out, when I finally realized that mine doesn't look quite the same as the other ones that I've seen, that he said, yeah, you got a fake. And then he had this whole huge message on the eBay selling notes and like about the figure and like the about section. And it was in details about how different they were. And I'm adding to that about the other differences that I've noticed that he didn't mention, and also making a video about it so you can see it in real time, in real life, right here, so you can see the obvious differences. Other thing you can tell, it's kind of hard to, because it's just kind of blurry and it's very, very thin. But these lines here, I don't know if I can try to like zoom in or something. Let me see here. Okay, that works. So these lines at the top here, if you notice, there are only, I think, 5. Let's see if we can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, there's 6. Or is it? I can't even tell. 1, 2, 3. No, there are 5. Yeah, on the fake there are 5. 5 black lines here. And the U on the top is much thicker. Now, if we look at the real one here, you can clearly tell there are more than 5. There are 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 black lines, and the U at the top, the black U, is much thinner. Okay, so those are the biggest differences about the figures. Now, I can show you more about these two. How the worst part about the fake, honestly, is that it's printed on authentic Lego. This is all real Lego. I'll show you. It has the Lego logos on the neck, the head, the feet, all over. So you'd think, yeah, it's totally real. You would completely think that. Because it is essentially a real Lego that it's on. And that just adds to the deception that this guy got away with. I'm going to take the figures apart very carefully. Well, the fake one, I don't really much care if it isn't that careful, but I will show you. So here is the head of the fake one first. I could probably do this without gloves, but I'm just going to get into practice of it. So here we go. See, look at that. It says Lego logo right there. And guess what? This is the fake one I was just pointing to, with the only the 5 lines and the ugly, fake, thick black U at the top. But it still says Lego, so everyone would think, if anyone bought this, oh, it's totally real, right? Well, guess what? It's not. And let's look at the torso. Look at that. Real, authentic Lego logo. But look at how fake this torso is, which you can only tell because of this video. Unless you're Chris from Mile High Lego, then you can easily tell. Look at this. There's that horrible design, which I can't stand anymore to look at because it messed with me all these months and tricked me. Yep, there it is. It is really a very nice print. It's a very, very amazing fake. This guy is kind of an artist, but he's also an asshole for doing this to people. And I can't stand how much money I lost on spending this, and I'm still to this day trying to get it all back. Hopefully I will soon, getting a refund. I can talk more about the person who sold it to me as well. I guess I can now. He's not a bad guy. I really, truly, honestly believe that he didn't mean to do this. He's not the one who made this. He got this from the person who did make it, and then he sold it to me on Bricklink. And I think he's just naive. He has an amazing collection on Bricklink. He has tons of rare stuff, San Diego Comic-Con sets, and I can show you the legs too, little feet. They have Lego logos as well. This thing is covered in Lego logos on the hips. This is all the fake figure, guys. This is still just the fake I'm showing you. This is all the fake, and how everything is covered in authentic Lego. Now let's look at the real one. This one I'm more nervous about taking the head off, as you can imagine. Okay. Here's the real one. So the guy I got the fake one from on Bricklink, he has an amazing collection, and he's a very well-established seller. He's only ever gotten positive feedback in his whole life, his whole career, and he's a really nice guy too. We had a great rapport, talking back and forth on Bricklink messaging, and he came up with a fair price. I paid $1,800 for it, and then with shipping or tax, it was an additional $100, so I paid $1,911 for the fake. So nearly $2,000 just for the fake one. So I'm trying to take this torso off very carefully by not damaging my figure. At the same time, oh man, I really need to do this, and it's really hard to right now. Hold the phone. Sorry about that. That was actually very hard to take off, but it is now, so we're okay. Yeah, I paid $1,911 for the fake on Bricklink, and that was one of the biggest mistakes in my life. But it was an honest one because the guy didn't know it was a fake. So, but then after many, many, many months of searching, I was able to find a real one, and that is what I'm showing you now, and showing you how that too is covered in Lego logos, because that is of course an authentic piece. Here's the neck. Here's the thinner black lines I was showing before. Another way to tell if you have a real one or a fake one is the printing doesn't quite align on the back or the head sometimes. There are slight variations of this figure out there, and some have, like I know Mini Superheroes Today, Jonathan, on his channel, his Iron Man, his head has kind of that printing misaligned a little bit on the head, near the forehead on the top. Mine doesn't. Mine doesn't have that issue. But mine on the back does, however, have a little bit of a misalignment right here near the top. And I don't think others, like Jonathan's, I think his is more cleaner than mine. There's also, we can compare again with the fake and see how clean and pristine the print is here. That's another way to tell that it's a fake, because it looks too good. It looks too good to be true. And you see, back in 2012, when Lego was making these things, they didn't really know completely what they were doing, because keep in mind, they hadn't done superheroes ever since, like, the Spider-Man sets from 2002 or 2003, 2004. And they all were, it was just Spider-Man. They never had actual other superheroes. So until so many years later in 2012 at this toy fair, they finally brought back Marvel superheroes. There's a Lego logo. And there's little feet. Both have Lego stamps on them as well, just like the other one. These are just plain monochrome legs, so even if these like got damaged or anything like that, then you can always replace these very easily. It's extremely easy to do that. Now that you have seen all there is to see for this figure, I will gently put it back together now and never take it apart again, because it's like a heart attack every time I do, as you can well imagine. Okay, so enjoy it while it lasts. Here we go. Okay. But yeah, like when Lego first made this figure and the Captain America to go with it, who I also have here just for fun, I can show you guys that. So, let's talk for a little bit. When Lego made these guys, they hadn't done superheroes since 2004, period. They had a long, nice break. They had about a good 10 years before they tried it again. And then they had this toy fair in New York in 2012, and they were like, hey, what if we brought back superheroes? We already did kind of with, DC last year. We had the 2011 the Green Lantern at San Diego Comic-Con and New York Toy Fair, and the Batman and the Superman on those little paper pamphlets, and people like those. Let's try Marvel. But let's only have a few of them. Let's only have 125 and see if the crowd likes it. That's another thing. These guys never came out any sets. They are essentially more rare than any San Diego Comic-Con figure. Even the biggest ones like Spider-Man from 2013, he's still 350 at least. These guys is supposedly 125. Nowadays, we don't even know. Some people say that the Captain America, there's actually about 500 of him, whereas the Iron Man, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like one of 12 because there's so many, and because this video hasn't been made yet, there could be tons of people with these types of Iron Mans, these fakes, and they're like, yeah, this is one of the 125, yeah. But guess what? The real ones, there's probably even fewer, and you might, at home right now, have a fake one. So you better check, look, and see, compare it to this one. Look at both sides. Be careful. Do not get scammed. That's what this whole video is about. Don't let this happen to you, please. I don't want you to go through what I have, I don't want anyone to go through this. I want this video to become well known just so people can not get scammed. I really want that to happen. I wish I had more followers. I wish I was a bigger name on YouTube. But maybe bigger names could see this and then they could help out with spreading the word around, spreading this video around, proving the fact that these are fakes and these are real, and just have a whole awareness thing going on. I really don't want this to happen to anyone. If big names, big YouTube stars see this, like M&R Productions, if Ryan sees this, if Jonathan from Mini Superheroes Today, if Ashton Flash, Just Too Good, who else? Rich Boy J, Holly, Emmasaurus. If any of those people, any of you, see this video, please share it and show all of your followers, because I don't have a whole lot, but everyone needs to know this. All LEGO collectors need to be aware of this massive catastrophe, because this, I bought this off of Bricklink. Real life Bricklink, the most trustworthy and reliable LEGO source in the world, which is also owned now by LEGO. So how does that look for Bricklink? How does that look for LEGO that they sanctioned this figure as a fine thing to be selling on their own website? Like, that is so messed up. And it makes me really angry because I have LEGO as a safe thing for me. I've loved it since I was a kid in 1999 with Star Wars, and I've loved it ever since. And knowing that people are corrupting it now, corrupting that safe space that I have, that love that I turn to when I have a bad day, when things are going well in my life, LEGO was always there for me. Now knowing that it's corrupted like this, I can't stand it. It really, really makes me upset. And I wish it could just stop. I don't want this to happen to anyone. No one should have to go through what I have. Okay, that's my rant. I hope this video was helpful and informative for everyone watching this. If you want to see more detailed review on Cap, I have that on my channel. And yes, he is real. I got him from actually a friend of Jonathan from Mini Superheroes Today. I got it from Rarest Lego Minifigs, Samuel. He gave me this one. And this figure, I got this real one that I got off of eBay. I didn't mention that. This real one I got off of a collector who used to work at LEGO, and he met Kevin Hinkle, this Iron Man is one of Kevin's from his own collection. And because he met Kevin Hinkle, and he worked with him, he was able to acquire the figure from him. He actually wrote me this really nice letter. When I bought it from him, I'm going to read this to you. He wrote a whole long message. You can't really see it, but he wrote all this to me. So I will read it to you, as you can look at the figures some more, and you can look. How about you look at the fakes some more, so you can see the real differences yourself. Okay, here we go. You're just like me about how important it is to know the history of the figure, since that adds value. So here it is. The night before the toy fair, a few LEGO employees helped set up and assemble the figures for the public. As thanks for setting up, LEGO gave each one of them the 2 figures. I purchased the figures directly from one of those employees, Kevin Hinkle, after he left LEGO. Also, the few times I handled these figures, I would wear gloves, like I'm doing. They have never been on display and disassembled immediately after I acquired them. And he says some other stuff, and he says, "You should be excited. There are definitely less than 200 of these ever made, and you are the owner of one of them." And it was really nice of him to tell me that whole story about the history. And I'm so grateful to have a real one now, and more grateful to share the fact that this is a real one and this is a fake one to the world, so you will never get scammed again. At least with this one, and keep in mind for other ones, because there are other characters out there which can also be faked. So, that's going to do it for this video. Please like and subscribe to this channel, and please, more than anything, share this video with everyone else. It's really important to do that. Okay, that'll do it for this video. Head on a Spike, out.